Tremendous here, and I got another battle report here for you. 5,000 point battle. It is battle report number 88, which is outstanding. And yes, I like to read it all off so you don't have to read. You just get to listen to the sultry tones of my voice, which is kind of weird. But hey, whatever floats your boat. I enjoy it. Anyway, 'tis I, Lord Tremendous of the Ogre Cons, versus Lord Grawl of the Sauron Ancients. Yep, that's right. My Sauron opponent is back, and he has changed up his list, he's changed up his tactics, and he wants a piece of daddy. So sit back, relax, and see how it goes. Here's my list, and it has not changed. I have my Mammoth Hunter Shyhammer. He's my general. He's got the Ogre Crossbow, Sword of Strength, Obsidian Rock, Charm of Cursed Iron, the Wild Heart Big Name, and he's riding the Rock-a-Rock Warhammer. Here is my second Mammoth Hunter. He's my BSB. He's got his Ogre Crossbow, Heart Ripper, Yeti Furs, and the big name Troll Eater. He is perfect and supremely dangerous. I love this guy. Next up, I have my Shaman Skaz. He's got 4 learned spells, the Dragonfire Gem, and uses the Path of Thaumaturgy, cause it's the best urgy. Last but far from least is my original Mammoth Hunter, Lord Tremendous. He's got his Ogre Crossbow, the Obsidian Blade, the Armor of Fortune, the big name Headhunter, and he's on his trusty Tusker, the War Teddy. Leading off my core choices are a unit of 10 tribesmen, the good old boys. They got Banner Musician Iron Fist and the Banner of Discipline, so they don't run away from panic. Then I have 2 units of 15 scraplings, the Randos and the Scrap Pack. Both have Musician and Bows. Starting off my special choices, I've got my Saber-Toothed Tiger, Bow Wowzer. Next up are 6 Scrappling Trappers, the Favored Pets. I've got 3 Tusker Cav, the Fat and the Furious, with Banner, Great Weapons, and the War Standard. And then finishing up my special choices are 5 Yetis with a Unit Champion. In the Powder Keg category, my only choice is the Scratapult, and I'm quickly becoming a believer. It's waxing and waning, but for the most part, I like the thing. In the Chain Beast category, I start off with none other than my Slave Giant, He Who Knocks. I'm really starting to like this guy. And then, of course, the main event, the foundation of my army, my Frost Mammoth, Rufus. There's a couple of Ogre Crossbows on the guys he carries around on his back, but he is the absolute star of the show. Love this guy. That's going to do it for my army. I'm going to post my opponents, play some music. Feel free to pause it whenever you like to see what he took. Here are my spells, which are exactly what you're looking at. And here's deployment. I believe I got to go first. In fact, I know I did because I deployed first. And honestly, he had shown me his list prior to us playing. He had shown me what he was bringing and everything. And I honestly didn't know if it was going to be effective or not. I'm being honest. I'm not trying to be insulting or anything like that. I saw 3 bricks of infantry and 2 bricks of cav and a couple of small units of skinks. There was a character on a Rampadon and another character on just like a pterodactyl, I think. That was really it. I didn't see anything other than just some medium level armor saves and some mid strength. So I was really curious. I did not know what to think, so I didn't. I was just like, is this a training game, or are we going to beat the crap out of each other? And he was like, come at me, bro. And I was like, all right. So I did. I lined up, and I just did the wall of meat. I got the scrap pack over on the right flank there on the hill, and they're just going to shoot at the skinks or whatever presents itself. I've got the giant, I've got the hammers, I've got the yetis, and I got Skaz secure in the right side there. I've got the Scratapult dead in the center. I know there's a hill in the way, but I figure if anything goes on the hill, we're good to go. I'll be able to smash it. And then I got the good old boys. I got Rufus, and I got the Fat and the Furious on the left side, secure in that center, to just go after whatever they can get into. Because honestly, for the most part, one-on-one, they could probably take anything. Or at least that's my thought. Then on the far left flank, I've got the Scrap Pack, or I'm sorry, the Randos, and I've got Lord Tremendous. And that's my plan. Meet him in close combat and beat him to death. Hopefully, maybe. We're going to see. And that's it for deployment. Here's top one after movement, and like I promised, I went first. And I came forward. I was like, you know what? I'm faster than him. I want to come forward. He shouldn't be able to charge me with anything. If his Cav on the right flank does charge, I got to go through the water, which is a lot of DTs. So, fine. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it. Other than that, though, I really, if the Cav on the left flank go through the field there, it's DT2s. Bring it on. I'm fine with that. That was really it. The Scraplings and the Scratapults stay right where they're at because they're just going to shoot. Lord Tremendous comes up conservatively because I don't want to give him an easy charge. And that's it for movement. During the magic phase, I get Wrath of God off, and I kind of put it in the center here. Again, not really thinking I'm going to do a whole lot of damage. The idea here is to force movement, whether he has to shift to the left, shift to the right, come forward, back up. Whatever he's going to do, he's got to move those guys now. Standing still isn't an option. Or he's going to take, at minimum, 2d6 strength 5 hits on everything that's close enough. So if you average out that 7 is the easiest thing to roll on 2d6, plus 1 means 8 inches, anything, on average, anything within 8 inches of that little explosion thing is going to take some damage. So I love this spell. Not everything is wine and roses, unfortunately. I end up misfiring 3 with my Scratapult, which is a shame. I would have liked to kill some lizards with it. So nothing else happens, so we go over here to bottom of one after movement, and he doesn't really move, like, at all. I think he tries to charge my giant with his unit on the right there, the Cav, the Raptor Riders, and fails. I'm not 100% on that. And then on the left side, he comes forward a little bit with the other guys, and that's really it. His characters move around a bit, and there's nothing else. It shocked me, actually. I was expecting a lot more movement, and I got almost none. But yeah, that was it. During his shooting phase, his little skink hunter guys take out a Yeti all by themselves. Poison had a lot to do with that, and failing armor saves. It was a hell of a shot. And then the little skink bastards over here fire at he who knocks and slip a wound through on him. They found his soft spot, and they put a bunch of darts into it. Well played, skinks. Well played. With no combat, that brings us over here to top of 2 after movement. And I start my impatience thing, really. Lord Tremendous charges the Cav on the left side. My thinking here is I have 4 strength 5, no armor save attacks. So if Lord Tremendous can hit, I mean, he's going to need 3. So if he can hit twice and wound twice, which shouldn't be too far of a stretch. If I can get 2 wounds a turn, I can keep combat my way and eventually take this unit out. It's a gamble, but I wanted to give it a shot. I didn't know if he had a unit champion or a character in there. He told me, I forgot. So I charge and I actually make it, which I was thrilled about. Made me think it was a good idea. My giant charges the skinks. The hope was they would fail their terror check and get out of my way. They passed their terror check, so I charged into them. They stood and shot, and I think they put 2 more wounds through on my giant, which broke my heart. I'm not going to lie to you. Everything else moves up. My Scraplings on the left and right flank there, they move forward. The Scratapult moves forward because it can't shoot this turn anyway. And everything kind of starts doing the U momentum type of thing. My trappers came up because I'm trying to bait things. I'm trying to get them to come out of there. I don't want to get too close because I see the damn Wrath of God too. It did not come down in his magic phase, I know. So now there's 2 counters on it. But yeah, the hope here is either he takes some bait and comes forward, or he lets me corner him and then I have to charge. That's really it for movement. There's a better picture of He Who Knocks coming up and getting 2 wounds put on him for a total of 3 from that one unit into, yeah, the giant and the skinks. I mean, I hope I kill him. I don't know anymore. My giant's half dead. And there's a better picture of Lord Tremendous trying to be a hero. During the magic phase, I get Trial by Faith off on his character, his warlord type character. I can't remember if it's his general or not. I think it is. I think it's his BSB that's on the flying thing. So anyway, I get his general with it, and we roll off, and he ends up taking 2 wounds, but I think he ward saved 1, which was pretty impressive actually. That spell usually doesn't do anything. I was throwing it to try to get more dice out of him, and he just let it go, and he ended up taking a couple of, well, he got 2 wounds on him. He saved 1 with a ward save, I think. So I'm actually impressed that, worked out. During the shooting phase, Rufus actually puts a couple of shots into his caster and slips a wound through, which I was very pleased with. Those guys on the back of Rufus have been inspired by his greatness and are now starting to really do good damage with those bows. And then over here, my scrap pack, they fire at the right flank Raptor Riders and drop 1. I was stunned. We go into combat, and He Who Knocks beats those skinks that wounded him so into a fine pink mist. And then Lord Tremendous goes into combat with these guys, and I think he kills 2 or 3. I'm not 100% on that, but I don't think it's actually him that does any wounds. I think it's all the War Teddy. I know I flubbed somewhere, or my opponent makes some insane saves against the War Teddy. Either way, I got charge and 2 wounds to his 2 wounds and a banner. I believe we stalemate on this one and stick out for another combat. So my plan isn't going so well. With combat over, we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, and the Lizardmen, the Sauron Ancients make their move a little bit. The big unit of Sauron warriors that were up on the right flank there charge He Who Knocks, and they actually make it. That surprised me, I won't lie. But I have the hammers and the Yetis right there ready to countercharge. The unit of Raptor Riders did charge Shyhammer, and 1 dies in the water, which that'll work. Those guys should be able to make short work of the Raptor Riders. They're going to take some damage. I'm hoping he doesn't just flat out kill me. We'll see. Other than that, the unit in the middle stay put. The other unit kind of turns to look at the Fat and the Furious. I believe they charged the favorite pets, my trappers. I fled, got away. I think he tried to redirect into the Fat and Furious and failed his charge. That is it for movement. Yep, there's a better picture of the hammers being, the twin hammers being charged by the Raptor Riders, and maybe it's more than that. Maybe 2 died to the water, and the Sauron warriors charging He Who Knocks, so that's probably not going to go well for the giant, but it is what it is. And there's a better picture of the other unit of warriors charging the trappers and failing because they fled, and then redirecting into Fat and Furious and failing their charge. I think he rolled like a 2 or a 3 in order for the charge, so he didn't make it, which is good. Which is real good. Nothing happens in this magic phase other than the fact that the comet comes down. Considering it was a high strength, I really didn't do a whole lot of wounds. The unit inside the field there takes a little bit of damage. Maybe 4 guys die. But the bigger unit that failed to charge a minute ago, they don't really take any damage. Maybe 1 or 2 wounds. It was really underwhelming. However, the skinks got caught up in it and they got washed off the field. So, not terrible, and it held those units up for a while. I'm feeling pretty good about the spell. We go back into combat because there is no shooting, and Lord Tremendous does slightly better. He's able to kill, I think, 4, with War Teddy helping. 4 of them die. I take no wounds in return. I win by 3, I believe, but he makes his test and stays right there. So, Tremendous isn't dead. The unit mostly is. Maybe this plan will work out after all. Over here, it goes exactly about as well as you would expect it to. I think I attack and I grab a guy or whatever and kill 1, maybe. I think it's whichever one where you take a weapon skill and an initiative test or whatever, and I think he passed them both or something ridiculous. Either way, the giant gets 3 more wounds put on a minimum and dies a horrible death. Not his proudest moment, not his best game, but damn it, I enjoyed playing him. Afterwards, he reforms like this to turn and face Skaz and the Yetis, which is smart. It doesn't give the Yetis a flank, and Skaz and the Yetis, luckily, they both passed their panic checks, mostly because the General's right there with Leadership 9. Well, at least for Skaz, anyway. But, yeah, we're going in. What other choice do I have? And then in this combat, it really surprised me how well my opponent did against the Hammers. He did 5 wounds to me. Almost killed me. He needed to do 1 more. 5 flippin' wounds were done. In my counterattack, I was only able to do 3. So with his charge and 5 wounds to my 3 wounds, he wins, but I'm stubborn 9 and I make my break check. But this was not how I expected it to go. This was painful. With all that excitement over, here's top of 3 after movement, and like I said, the Yetis go in. Yetis and Khan, they slam into the Warriors, and I gotta kill him. I'm not gonna get a better charge than that. Him making it into the Giant was unexpected, and I have to adapt. So I sent him in. I debated sending Skaz in, I really did, but I'm not ready to put him in there yet. I want to try to kill his general with Trial by Faith. I know. On the left side there, I send the Fat and Furious into the Saurus Warriors that tried to charge them last turn. I take my dangerous terrain checks because I'm in a field, and I fail 3 of them. A guy dies, and I panic. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So I panic. I panic from the closest enemy unit because it was, it was done by 25% casualties, but not from a source. There's no way for me to run from exactly what I was on top of. So I ran from the closest enemy unit, which was the Raptor Riders on the left flank there, and I bounced through Rufus. Rufus, thank God, makes his panic check, but yeah, that was disappointing to say the least. Other than that, the Trappers actually rally, which was amazing, and the rest of the stuff just moves up slightly because nothing was really in position to charge, which is my fault completely. That's it for movement. There's about a picture of the Yetis and my BSB slamming into the Warriors, and they're going to try to get a little revenge for the Giant. And there's about a picture of the Fat and the Furious running away. Yeah, they would have made the charge too. It breaks my heart every time. Nothing happens in a magic phase, unfortunately, but in the shooting phase, Rufus shoots at his caster and kills it. Yeah, both shots hit and both wound, and I don't believe he makes either of his saves. I think it's got a ward save, and he kills him. Jaw hit the table, I'm not going to lie to you. With that, we go over here into combat, and Lord Tremendous is able to finish off the Raptor Riders. Now, last turn, after I took the picture, he did heal a wound because of Headhunter, and in this one, he killed a guy. Tremendous killed the guy, not the War Teddy, and I was able to Headhunter the last wound off of him. So, not only did that plan work out, I'm sorry, the Raptor Rider, one survived, it fled, and I didn't catch it. It's right there. So that worked out pretty nice. I'm not upset about how that worked at all. Combat over here, the Hammers get lucky, and no wounds get through. In return, I think I killed 2 more. I win this combat, but I do believe they make their break check. And then we get into this combat. And I gotta be honest with you, I was pissed. Not at my opponent. My opponent did beautiful. At my Yetis, okay? My Yetis did terrible. I got all my attacks first. The only one to do any damage was Khan. He killed 3 guys. That's it. All 4 of my surviving Yetis got to attack and didn't do 1 wound. You want to talk about Dice God spitting in your eye and making you call it powdered sugar. I don't know where that came from. That's not a thing. I apologize. But, yeah, they flubbed spectacularly, and I lose. I take 7 wounds. 7 wounds. So charge, banner, and 1, 2, 3 wounds to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2 ranks. I think I lose by 4. I lose by about 4, I believe. And it's ugly. However, in the second upset of the game, actually I think I lost by 5, so I needed a 4 to stay. I make my mother effing break. 2 upsets, 1 combat. It was a roller coaster of emotions. I was up, I was down, I don't know. Oh, what an excellent combat for my opponent. It just got lucky as hell. I was so mad at the Yetis, I was telling my opponent, you kill them. You kill all of them! They don't deserve to live this game. I'm a vengeful general. What can I tell you? So we go over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and there's a little bit, not a ton. I think he has a couple of failed charges in the middle there, going after the good old boys. I think the big unit on the left there fails a charge, no big deal. His BSB on a Rampadon, I thought he was facing towards the impassable terrain, the little rock there. He says he was facing towards Lord Tremendous. I did give him a hard time about it. I did. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say it for God and everybody to hear it. I gave him a hard time. I was like, all right, that seems a little wonky, but just it's a friendly game, whatever, have at it. So he charged Lord Tremendous and made it no problem into his flank, and that's going to go really, really bad for me. And that was really it. There was no other movement. There's been a picture of his lazy-eyed BSB slamming into the flank of Lord Tremendous, and that's going to hurt. And there's been a picture of his Saurus Warriors failing a charge against the good old boys, which is good. I hope I get to countercharge next turn. There is no shooting a medic, so we go straight into combat, and it doesn't go as terrible as I thought it was going to go. I do 2 wounds to him, he does a wound to me, but he's got charge and a flank, charge, flank, and a wound to 2 wounds. I need an 8 to stay, and who wants to guess? I break. I roll like a 10, and I didn't even get away. He caught me, ran me down. He ends up going off table, but he'll be back. And yeah, I die a little on the inside. It figures. It is what it is. Over here, it goes much, much better. I think seeing half of their friends die really motivated the 2 surviving Yetis. Not that they survived this combat, but they're able to kill, with the BSB's help, about 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 warriors die, which is awesome. That really worked out nice. I lose both the remaining Yetis, so the entire unit is gone. However, I think I win this combat, but my opponent's steadfast and makes his break check no problem. Over here, my Hammer brothers, oh, they do amazing, and they kill the last 2 Raptor riders, and I'm just so proud of them. They survived, killed the unit that charged them, and now there's a chance I'm going to be able to send them in there and finish off the Saurus Warriors before they can finish off my BSB, and it's glorious. With that all wrapped up, here is top of 4 after movement. And, yeah, starting on the right flank there, my Hammer brothers go into the Saurus Warriors. I gotta finish them off. There is no 2 ways about it. I've got to. In the center there, Rufus... No, I'm sorry, the good old boys charge the Saurus Warriors' big unit, and he decides to flee. I redirect into the unit that's in the middle of the field there, and I roll like butt. Rufus tries to charge the unit in the middle before I roll for the good old boys, of course, and he fails his charge as well, which breaks my heart a little bit. Other than that, the Scraplings stay right where they are on both sides. Well, on the left flank anyway, because I'm going to try to kill off that last Raptor Rider. The Fat and Furious guys rally, and the Trappers, emboldened now, move up as fast as they can to try to throw rotten apples at the fleeing unit of warriors. That's pretty much it for movement. Other than, Bow Wows are moving to chaff the unit of Saurus Warriors in the field, because I don't want them countercharging and get a hold of the good old boys. That's it for movement. There's been a picture of the good old boys and Rufus failing their charges, and the unit of warriors running away. And here's a better picture of the Hammers, not done fighting yet, charging into the Saurus Warriors. And yes, it was a front charge, because after the last combat, I did spin him in place to face him so that I was in his front, because I did not want a flank charge. During the magic phase, I get Cleansing Fire off on Khan, and that's just to ensure that I win this gun, because honestly, I know the Hammer brothers are on borrowed time. I'm going to try to get as much DPS out of them as I can. In shooting, the Scratapult must have been tired of me praising it, because it misfires 2 this time, which is just awful. It can't shoot for the rest of the game, and yeah, that sucks. We go into combat, and yes, the Twin Hammers do so much damage it should be illegal. They beat this unit half to death. I believe Khan does 4 wounds on his own, and the Rock and Shyhammer do the rest. I think there's 3 models left in the unit afterwards, and they do nothing in return. And they break. I don't have to pursue with the Twin Hammers anymore, because they're not frenzy. I lost that first round of combat against the Raptor Rider, so I just turned him to face the center to go after that big unit in the field. I send Khan after him to chase, and they get away, but he's right on top of him, so I should be able to either finish him off or run him off the table in my turn. All in all, that really worked out. With that over, we go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and there is a little bit. The unit in the middle in the field charges Bow Wowzer, and while they're going to murder him, no problem, that plays right into my hand, which I think my opponent knew. I think he was just kind of ready for this one to be over. He did really well. He did much better than our first game, though. And it's not over yet. It's far from over. His other Unitosaurus warriors rally. On the left flank there, on the right flank, they do not rally, but they get right to the board edge, which means they're gone. I just got to commit my BSB to it. And his BSB comes over fresh off of victory, comes back on the table, and flies over around the impassable terrain to come back into this fight. Meanwhile, the one remaining Raptor Rider on the left flank comes towards the Scraplings, and if they don't kill him soon, he's going to kill them. Should be interesting to see what happens. That's it for movement. There's been a picture of his Saurus Wars. Those might be Temple Guard, actually. I'm sorry. Those might be Temple Guard, and they're running into Bow Wowzer. With no magic or shooting, we go straight into combat, and I don't remember how many models he used, but it was enough. He murder faces Bow Wowzer. I don't think I do anything to him, maybe a wound. It's really unimpressive on my side. And Bow Wowzer dies the martyr's death. I set him up to die. And then afterwards he reforms like so to accept the counter charge. He saw it coming, but you know what? It's still a pretty good fight for him. Those guys are tough. With that all over, here's top of 5 after movement, and yes, everybody goes in. Rufus, the good old boys, and the hammers charge the big unit in the middle. They stand. Only the good old boys and the Rock can make it in. Rufus did make his charge. He could not get into the fight, which sucks. Other than that, I send the trappers up to block his big Unitosaurus Wars so they don't get a hold of Rufus. The Tusker Cav turn to look at the Raptor Rider on the left flank, and that is it for movement. There's about a picture of the hammers and the, what's it called? Oh, I'm sorry, the Scratapult and the good old boys. I forgot about the Scratapult charging in, making their charge, and Rufus making it, but he couldn't get in there, so it is what it is. Oh, yep, and there's about a picture of Khan running off to 3 remaining Saurus Warriors from the battle earlier. During the magic phase, I once again get Cleansing Fire off, this time on Shyhammer, which is awesome because it's Strength 5 and should help tremendously against the Temple Guard. Of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I got that spell off with Overwhelming Power, and I miscast 10. 5 dice total because of Thaumaturgy. It's 4 dice plus Thaumaturgy. You know how it works. I got lucky, and it's only a 10, but yeah, that could have been really, really bad. Really, really bad. The results of which, though, do see 3 wounds getting put on Skaz. Almost got killed by that one. So, yeah, living by the seat of his pants. I don't even know if he's wearing pants. It's a weird analogy. We go into combat, and it is brutal. First of all, yes, my general dies before he can use his breath weapon, and I think... No, he gets to use his breath weapon. We get everything through. We do a ton of damage. We kill all, but I think his general... Maybe I kill his general. I can't remember. But I know there's a couple of models left. The good old boys really don't take any damage. They take a wound. The Scratapult is unscathed. We auto-break these guys. Like I said, they auto-break. They run away from the good old boys, and we run what's left of them down. All in all, I mean, it took over 1,000 points, well over 1,000 points to do it, but we got him dead, and all it cost me was my general, which I think we might have traded even points. Here's bottom of 5 after movement, and he has really no other choice. He goes after the trappers. They stand, shoot, do nothing, and get hit no problem. His BSB just kind of stands there, doesn't really feel like getting into the fight because he's a little concerned. And the one remaining Raptor Rider on the left flank there slams into the Scraplings, and yeah, he's going to kill them all. That's it for movement. There's been a picture of his Raptor Rider looking for some revenge by beating the ever-loving piss out of some Scraplings. And there's been a picture of my trappers about to getting the ever-loving piss beat out of them. We go straight into combat, and it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. He flubs. I flub in return, and he does a wound. So, charge and a wound to a rank, I lose by 1. And I make my break check. Really shocked the hell out of both of us, to be perfectly honest. It kind of sucks because now it makes so that my Tusker Cav can't charge him and kill him. But maybe the Scraplings will pull it off. We will see. Over here, this is more like it should have happened. The Stars Warriors beat the ever-loving Tar out of the Trappers, take no wounds for their trouble, and celebrate their victory. They then reform to face the Good Old Boys and Rufus, who are probably going to charge them next turn. We go over here to top of 6, and I discover that the Good Old Boys are not in a position to charge the Warriors. So, my Scratapult and Rufus slam into them. It's just because it's a fun game. And sorry about this picture. I was editing the pictures, trying to clear them up, make them a little sharper, make them look a little better. And I clicked something just before I click save. I'm getting old and my nerves are shot. What can I tell you? And yeah, it did some weird filter, and it looks like warm piss is all over the lens. I'm not happy about it. Nothing I can do about it. I apologize again. Anyway, with that out of the way, we charge in there. The rest of my stuff kind of moves around a little bit, and that's it for movement. There's been a picture of Rufus and the Scratapult slamming into the Warriors. It's not a great odds fight. I wanted more combat. And yes, my Scratapult took a couple of wounds for charging through the field. Nothing happens in magic or shooting, so we go into combat, and it doesn't really go great. I am able to kill a few of the Stars Warriors, 3 or 4. In return, they kill my Scratapult and beat up Rufus pretty good. I do end up making my break check and sticking. I then make my next test to reform and push myself over a little bit, and now it's a fight. What can I say? Rufus is going to bring it home. I believe in him. Combat over here, 3 more Scraplings die. I'm not able to do anything to this walking mobile badass that is a Raptor Rider. The Scraplings have had enough, they break, they get run down, and all is right once again with the universe. So with that, we go over here to bottom of 6 after movement, and there's really nothing. I can't charge him with my Tusker calves on the left flank there. He's out of my arc. There's nothing for me to charge his BSB with, so pretty much there's no point in moving. So that's the end of the movement phase. We go straight into combat. Rufus is able to kill about 6 of those guys. They're able to do about 3 wounds back to him. I think I win this combat by 1, and he's steadfast or whatever. Either way, he makes his check, and yeah, I wasn't going to get the points. But Rufus survived, and he was a champion at the end, just like I knew he was. And there it is. There's the end of the game. As you can see, I did not table my opponent. I have much fewer ogres on the table than I did in our first game. My opponent has improved exponentially, and I am very proud of him. This was an excellent game, and I'm excited about it. It's a lot of fun, and he's really showing a lot of potential, a lot of promise, and yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to see him getting so much better so fast. But we'll get to the recap in a minute, because this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
In the end, it was a victory for Lord Tremendous. I got 5,022 out of him. He got 2,375 out of me, for a difference of 2,647. I ended up losing Shyhammer, half points for Skaz, Lord Tremendous, the Randos, my Sabertooth Tiger, my Trappers, my Yeti, and my Giant, and my Scratapult. He beat me up pretty good. This was a solid game with a lot of really good signs to it. My opponent did so much better in this game. His tactics, his list, the way he played, everything. Like I said, I was a little shocked when I first saw his list, and then I played against him. I'm like, wow, this one has a lot of potential. His tactics are improving, the way he charged. It was a little bit of a risk going over the water and stuff, but he's getting good with those cav. They were actually, they by rights, they should have killed my Rock-a-Rock. Really enjoyed facing off against the Sarn. That's a lot of fun to play against them. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think my opponent needs to incorporate some dinosaurs. And a little birdie told me that he has gotten some. So yeah, the next game that we play should be really cool. As for my list, I'm really, really enjoying it. It's solid. I like the mobility. I like the punch. Just got to keep practicing with it so I get it really, really, fine-tuned and dialed in. Toying with putting Khan on a Tusker, I don't know how I do it because right now I'm out of points, but I just think it'd be cool to have another Hunter on a Tusker, just almost everyone's mounted. So much fun to play this list, and like I said, I just want to get as many games in with it as I possibly can. Like I said 100 times though, this was an excellent game against an excellent opponent who is improving a lot. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how much better he does in our next game, and therefore I am very much looking forward to our rematch. And maybe dinosaurs. Alrighty, this is part of the Battle Report where I get the opportunity, the honor, the pleasure to thank everyone that supports me financially through Patreon, PayPal, and other means. Many people donate to my channel, and I thank you for that. Most want to stay anonymous. These are the individuals that let me thank them properly. Alex of the Vale Renegades, South Florida's Gamermancy team, Daniel Jolson, and Caillou Choi. Thank you all very, very much. I appreciate it deeply, and I hope I continue to be worthy of your patronage. Thanks, guys. I really need it. But that's going to do it for this one, guys and gals. Battle Report number 88 is officially in the history books. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.